What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having a great day as always. Today we're working on the Blue Grand Cherokee once again. I got a few mods for it from our friends over at Auxbeam. They sent us over a package. I did get it while I was away at Jeep Week, so I finally got time to install it. So for starters, we're going to be installing this 8-gang RGB switch panel from Auxbeam. Now this thing is perfect for my needs. I was looking for a switch option to run the lockers, compressor, lights, all that kind of stuff off of. And this thing basically checks all the boxes. This thing is perfect for our needs, and let me show you why. So I've already gone ahead and opened it. So this is the switch panel itself, 8 different individual buttons, then an on and off switch in the middle. Now this does light up, so it's perfect at night. I definitely wanted something that lit up and was a little bit cleaner than rocker switches because that's what I have in the Wrangler, and I think this looks much better. Plus, once the cage is done, we can go ahead and make a clamp mount for this and mount it directly to the cage. So that'll be super sick. It also comes with this huge sheet of basically any light or auxiliary thing you're going to need. I mean, I got GPS, fuel, power. We got rock lights, light bars, all kinds of stuff on here. Now, these are the ones I really wanted. Was the rear and front locker plus the air compressor. Definitely going to be running those. We'll probably need the fan one at some point. Then some lights. Besides that, I think everything else will be pretty much not needing a switch. But this will cover basically everything we need. So I'm super excited to get this installed. I also didn't want to run a bunch of wires into the where we sit in the Jeep or into the dash or anything. So this makes that super simple because this mounts in your engine bay, and then you run all the wires for any of this stuff that you're hooking up directly to this box. And then you have an individual fuse for each one. So it's super simple to tell if your fuse blew or what went wrong. And it's just way cleaner install because you only have one wire coming out from this, plugs into here and goes into the switch panel. So it's super, super simple. Now, as you guys know, I don't really have a ton of lights on any of my Jeeps. So I told them I'm probably going to need a set of lights to set these up and make a video on and to install them just to see how it all works. So they actually went ahead and sent me over a set of lights, and I'm really happy with these lights, and let me show you why. So the light pods themselves are super clean looking. They got the cooling fins. They're just super clean. But I've been wanting to test amber light pods for a long time now, just because they're a lot better in the dust, the fog, and we've got to deal with all that around here. These actually come with these little amber lens covers, and they're super simple to install. I believe you just take these 4 bolts out, and this black cover pops off, and then you can switch out the lenses with the amber ones. And I think these will look great, especially on the blue Jeep. I think they'll look good. And obviously, if I'm not happy with the amber, we'll just stick with the clear white, and that'll be super simple. These also come with a super nice wiring harness. They come with a switch on there, but we're obviously going to cut that out and hook it up to this because that'll be way cleaner than the switch. But these all come with these nice little plugs on the end, so they're super simple to install. Got all the mounting brackets and everything down here. So my WJ is actually the one that has the evap system up here in the engine bay, and to be able to feed this wire through the firewall, I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and move this around. I just can't fit my hand down in there. So we're gonna go ahead and take off these 2 bolts right here. That should allow me to move this around a little bit, and then we'll be able to get the wire ran through up into the Jeep and get the new switch panel set up somewhere in there. All right, with these 2 out, I was able to pull the evap system up and out of the way. Now we can feed the wire up through there where the wiring harness goes anyway, through down here underneath the dash, and set the switch panel up somewhere in there. I'm not 100% sure on final location yet though. All right, wires fed through. You can get to it on the inside here. I just have it hung down there for now. We're gonna run it up through the dash somewhere and set it up inside. But before we get around to all of that, I'm gonna go ahead and put this back where I took it off from right here, and then figure out where I want to set up the fuse box. All right, so I got the wire ran all the way up through the dash. It comes down through there, through the firewall, up here, through underneath the steering wheel, and pops out up here. So now all that's left is to connect this. And then I do think I'm going to mount it somewhere right there. But you're not really going to be able to see any of the wires because they'll either be behind this or in the dash. So it's going to be super clean. Super happy with how that turned out. Now I just have to figure out where to put that fuse box. So now the switch panel's installed, all the wiring's ran. I'm going to clean this up once I'm done installing and tuck it up here with these other lines that are up underneath of this water seal. We're going to go ahead and use the provided add fuse and tap into one of these. So this is the master power for the switch, and so we're going to want to tap it into something that turns on when the vehicle turns on. So I'm thinking either injectors or I guess ignition switch would be a solenoid. So we're going to have to do something with a fuse. So we don't really have a ton of options here. So we're going to pick one that'll turn on with the Jeep, plug this in, add our fuse to it, and we should be good to hook up the power and test this thing out. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see it on camera, but literally the only wrench I need to finish this fell down behind the headlight somehow, all the way down there. So the only way to get to it is take the headlight out. So I guess now we're taking these headlights out to get the wrench I need to finish up the install. Other issue is the end piece here is too small to go into the main part. I am going to replace these in the future though, because the wiring's all messed up, so I'm going to have to change all the wiring. So we'll go ahead and replace these with the correct ones to fit this in the future. For now, I'm just going to put it on these bolts because it's not how you're supposed to do it, but it'll work. It's good enough. The car doesn't get driven much. So we're going to go ahead, I guess remove the headlight, get the wrench back, and do all that. There is the wrench. But I got all the wiring hooked up. So now I'm going to tuck all this stuff, like the fuse and everything, down behind the headlights because it's like the best open area we have around here. Negative and positive are hooked up. I'm probably going to zip tie these in with the existing wires going to the battery just so it's super clean. And then I also think I'm going to Velcro this onto the top of the fuse box. So they must have updated their fuse box setup recently, and it's a little bit bigger. I was watching Najar Off-Road's video where he put his because I could not find a spot. And his is a different design and it fit on here pretty nicely. This one does not. So we're going to have to just Velcro this on and then we'll pull it off whenever we have to get to the fuses. Because it'll fit at the front, but then it blocks the little prongs to open up the fuse box. So we'll just double side Velcro that on there, same as the switch panel on the inside. Then nothing's permanent and we can move it around, do whatever we want with it. All right, all this is wrapped up. I'm gonna do a better job cleaning up these wires, but I wanna make sure it works first. I also would like this to be somewhere that's accessible without, like I said, removing the headlights. That would suck to have to do, but it's clean enough for me. I have to zip tie this wire up now, and I believe it came with some zip ties, so that shouldn't be too bad. Then we'll go ahead. I think the battery's dead, so we'll throw it on a charger. Then we'll see if the switch panel lights up, make sure it works, and then we'll get the lights ready to install. Next time, I still have to pick up some brackets. If you guys know of any good WJ brackets for like right here above the hood, go ahead and comment down below because that's kind of where I want these. That, or I'll pick up some flush mount ones and put them in the bumper for the time being. Most of these lights will probably get transferred onto this Jeep once we do start the actual build, because a lot of this is getting ripped out. A lot of this is getting custom built, so we're going to need all different kind of stuff. So I'll probably be transferring most of these parts onto that Jeep. All right, guys, so I went ahead, I got everything set up. The Jeep is on, so on came the switch panel. Now, as you can see, it's super bright lights and it's super simple to work. I just have it set up here until I get the Velcro to mount it here. But as you can see, on, off, and whatever you have hooked up to these buttons will turn on and off with it. So apparently you'll be able to change the color by long pressing the center and then any button. So we'll hold that. Light came on. Long press one of these buttons. Yeah, and it's working. It's changing colors. So as you guys can see, it goes around the color wheel clockwise or counterclockwise depending on whichever button you press. And I think we're gonna go back to the green because then it'll match the dash colors. That's kind of clean, actually, the blue. And I believe my dash colors are actually kind of blue because I forgot that I did the Najar LED dash kit and the interior light kit. So I think that'll match pretty well. So I'm interested to see how well it does long term and then also get those lights hooked up. So like I said, if you guys know any light pod mounts that hook up right there, comment down below because I don't know which ones to get and I'm definitely interested in them. That's where I think I want my light pods to go. And like I said, this stuff will probably be transferred onto that Jeep in the future because I got some lighting plans for this once we do the swap and get everything set up. I've got some big plans as far as lighting go for this. I've never really done lighting on any of my Jeeps, as you can tell. The Wrangler literally just has headlights. I have done no lighting on that at all. I want lights on this one though because we're going to be wheeling at night and I want to be able to see the trails, and I'm kind of excited to go do some night wheeling. I have not done that yet and I think it'll be super fun. Alright guys, so that basically wraps up this video of installing the Auxbeam RGB 8-gang switch panel. If you guys do want to pick one up, I'll link it down below. I think this is a pretty cool product to add to your Jeep, especially if you have a lot of switches. I do believe they make a smaller one which would be good if you didn't have as many lights on your Jeep, or lockers, compressor, all that kind of stuff. Now, like I said previously, we will be installing the light pods in an upcoming video. I just have to figure out mounts, whether I'm going to make them, whether I'm going to buy them. And like I said, if you guys know of any good ones, go ahead and comment down below. I need to pick up a set or make a set pretty soon so we can install these lights and see how this switch panel really works once we have lights hooked up. Now, before we wrap up the video, I wanted to go over one thing. I did actually go ahead and start my second channel. We already have a few videos posted over there. It's going to be like a behind the scenes of this channel, stuff that isn't long enough to post on this channel. I'm going to show you guys more of the business side of things. We'll have car stuff, truck stuff, ATV stuff, all kinds of stuff basically. It's just going to be my main channel for like my personal stuff that's not strictly Jeeps and strictly fits into this channel. So if you guys want to check it out, I will link that down below at the top of the description. I would appreciate every single subscriber on there. We're closing in on 1,000, which is super awesome. Like I said, already a few videos posted, so go check it out. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.